The Miami Heat continue to get hit with some tough breaks on the injury front, and now they are really in some trouble as they're looking to make a push to avoid the play-in with only a month to go in the regular season. The latest blow coming in the form of Duncan Robinson, who left the game on Monday night against the Philadelphia 76ers late in the third quarter with back discomfort. Did not return in that game. The Heat Twitter account tweeted out that he was immediately ruled out of that one with back discomfort, and he will not be playing on Wednesday night against the Cleveland Cavaliers as he flew back to Miami to see a back specialist, which really has me concerned. But this is why you subscribe to the channel, because we are going to update you on the latest surrounding the Miami Heat, good or bad. We are also going to be live for every single Heat basketball game the rest of the way, every regular season game, play-in, postseason, it does not matter. We will be your number one spot for Heat coverage the rest of the season and into the offseason as well. But the Heat, they can't afford to lose Duncan Robinson long term, and the fact that he's seeing a back specialist really has me concerned. Well, if you just look at this Heat lineup, the fact that Herro's been out for 10-plus games now, and there is no return in sight for him. They've been missing Kevin Love. Jimmy's missed the last two, so is Jovic, but they are questionable for the game on Wednesday against the Cavs, so hopefully Jimmy and Jovic return to that starting lineup. But who are the Miami Heat going to rely on for three-point shooting? All jokes aside here, I know Bam has been hitting some threes, but if Duncan's out, we are immediately one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the entire NBA. Think about it. Like, Herro and Duncan are your two three-point guys. Herro shooting 39.9% from beyond the arc when he's played in 36 games this season. But like I said, he's been out for so long. And Duncan Robinson, absolutely been a revelation for this Miami Heat lineup. I mean, he was out of the rotation last year. He made some huge plays in the postseason, including that Game 2 fourth quarter run against the Denver Nuggets, which helped the Heat get their only win against Denver in the NBA Finals. But without Duncan Robinson, potentially long-term here, if this back injury is serious, which I am hoping and praying it is not, but if Duncan is gone long-term, we are in trouble. And I'll even say this, even if Tyler Herro returns, I still think Miami is in trouble. Because where is the three-point volume going to come from for the Miami Heat? I mean, Duncan's shooting 40% from beyond the arc this year, but this isn't shooting 40% on like 5 attempts. He's launching 7, 8 shots a game from beyond the arc. So those are 2, 3, 4, 5 three-point shots that Miami makes a night because of Duncan Robinson. Not to mention the pull and gravity he has on the offensive end. And when I say they, opposing defenses have to be so cognizant of where Duncan Robinson is on the court at all times that he grabs two guys and you can't help off Duncan, which allows other people like Bam to have more freedom in the middle of the floor. Jimmy Butler, Terry Rozier. Duncan is the engine that has made this Heat offense go over the past month and a half, and specifically with Tyler out. But even when Herro is in the lineup, Duncan coming off the bench has been unbelievably good for Miami. It has been key. It has been, I keep on using the term engine, but when he comes off the bench, sure, his numbers are down in comparison to when he's starting, but he comes in, and then if you have a Herro and Duncan backcourt, which has its struggles defensively, but that just opens up so much more on the offensive end for Miami. So this Duncan Robinson injury really has me concerned because he is the X factor, in my opinion, for Miami if they want to make a run in the postseason. Just think about what Max Strus did at times last year, and Duncan himself. If he's not available, oh boy, the Heat are in trouble because they don't have three-point shooters. Caleb's been fine, but Jaime's not that good of a three-point shooter, and do we trust him in the postseason? Jimmy, who knows? Bam, all jokes aside, has been shooting the ball well. But like Duncan, Terry is very up and down from beyond the arc. Duncan is the only mainstay and three-point weapon that Miami has. So the Heat absolutely need Duncan Robinson, and the fact that he's visiting a back specialist really has me concerned. I am going to hope and pray that he is going to be fine and return to the Heat lineup sooner rather than later. And if you're with me, I want you to show Duncan Robinson some love in the comment section. So spam those double nickels, spam the 55s down below to wish Duncan Robinson a recovery and hope that he doesn't miss a lot of time. Before we get into the Eastern Conference standings outlook as well, I want to shout out PrizePicks for sponsoring today's show. PrizePicks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app out on the market, and you can get started with them when you download the app today. Use code CLNS. You get a first deposit match up to $100. Yes, you heard that correctly. You can make some picks with March Madness starting up. The first 4 is tonight, baby. We got Colorado State, Virginia. We got Howard Wagner. We got it all getting kicked off in Dayton for the first 4 matchups. They all are offering a super, super special more than on Caitlin Clark, half a point. Don't know who she's playing. Personally, I'm kind of out on the loop there, but I saw it yesterday. I knew they were offering a half point free there for Caitlin Clark, the all-time leading scorer in Division I college basketball. Shout out to Caitlin Clark. Don't know who the Hawkeyes are matched up with in the first round just yet. I'll have to take a look at my bracket over there. But get started with PrizePicks. They have daily fun specials like Demons and Goblins, Taco Tuesday. You can also have that today. They have it all. So download the app, use code CLNS to get a first deposit match up to $100. You could also go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS to get that first deposit match. The link will be in the comments and description of today's video. All right, but it's time to take a look at where the Heat are in the Eastern Conference standings because they're 37-31. They're 68 games in. They've only got 14 games left to go. It's actually crazy that we only have 14 games left in the regular season. And if they want to avoid the play-in in those 14 games, they have to make up a game on the Philadelphia 76ers. That was a massive loss last night. Don't get it twisted. The Heat needed to win that one, and the fact they didn't is kind of devastating, to be honest. And Bam was playing so good. If we just want to quickly look at that game yesterday, it's disgusting that Adebayo did not get more looks and didn't sub back into the fourth quarter until 5.5 minutes to go in the final period because he was cooking on all cylinders. The Sixers couldn't stop him, and Miami needed to go to him late, and by the time he came into the game, it was a little bit too late for Miami. But the Pacers are a half a game above Miami. They're 7th with a 38-31 record, so if the Heat just play another game and win it, they'll be tied with Indiana for the 7th spot, but they're a full game behind the Sixers. And I actually want to look here at the Heat schedule. If we play Philadelphia again, I'm hoping we do because that would be able to be easily the game we make up, and we do. It's just around the corner here, April 4th. That is a massive game for Miami. I believe that is a Thursday because April 1st is a Monday. Yeah, that makes sense. So I think that Thursday against the Sixers will be a massive, massive game for Miami. If you can hang around and stay one game back of Philly heading into that game where it's in Miami, in the 305, you can potentially change the tide of the Eastern Conference standings because with a win there, you will obviously make up that one game. They get a loss, you get a win, but you also win the season series against the 76ers. Right now, Miami leads 2-1, and if Miami was able to capture that game, they'd win 3-1 in the season series, which would make sure that Miami owns the tiebreaker against the Philadelphia 76ers. So the Heat got to start playing some good ball here as of late because they got no easy schedule. They play Cleveland on Wednesday. They return home for a 4-game home set, which is massive, but they play the Cavs on Wednesday, then they play the Pelicans on Friday, then the Cavs again on Sunday, Warriors Tuesday, Trailblazers Friday, and then Wizards on Sunday before a Knicks Sixers stretch over the next week. This 5-game stretch is huge. You got one road game, and then this is a 6-game stretch. One road game, and then 4 at home with a road game against Washington. You obviously cannot lose to the Wizards again. You have to beat Portland. You have to split with Cleveland, so that gives you a 3-1 record. And then if you can sweep New Orleans and Golden State, but let's go negative here and say they split. That's 4-2 over the next 6 games. To me, that has to be the bare minimum Miami does in order for them to avoid the play-in. That they have to go 4-2 over the 6-game stretch. That doesn't guarantee they don't miss the play-in, but that just sets you up for better success in the final stretch of games where you play New York, Philly, Houston, Indiana, Atlanta, Dallas, and Toronto twice. You have to set yourself up for a final 10-game push here as you only have 14 games left to go in the regular season because you cannot be in the play-in again. Why? Well, if you win your first play-in game, it doesn't change much because you'd be able to play Milwaukee in the first round as the 7th seed. Sure, but if you get that 6th seed, you don't have to play in the play-in, and then you get potentially matched up with Cleveland in the first round. It's a very winnable series for Miami, and then they'd get to play Milwaukee in round 2 instead of Boston. I like our chances if we get going in the right direction, but it's about if Miami can get going in the right direction because they've shown the inability to do so, and they've been a very hot and cold team. Remember, started off like 1-4, 1-5 to start the season, and then Miami goes 9-1 over the next 10 games, and then they go in a lull, and then they get hot, and then they get really bad with a 7-game lose streak, and then they go 8-2 in their next 10. So Miami's been an up and down team all year long, but if we could just get hot in the postseason like we've done for 2 out of the last 4 NBA playoffs, Miami could make another push. That'll do it for today's video. Make sure you are subscribed because we're going to be live for every Heat game the rest of the season. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. And we'll be live again tomorrow in a big game on the road against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Jimmy Butler and Jovic are questionable. Hopefully they'll be able to go. No Duncan Robinson, no Tyler Herro, no Kevin Love, no Josh Richardson, obviously. But the Cavs, they don't have Donovan Mitchell. He's out for the next week. You get Cleveland twice. Got to take advantage. No D-Mitch in those 2 games against Cavs. You got to win it. So let's go Heat, and hopefully Miami can really get it going. Peace out, fellas. I'll see you on the next one.